What's up, Soul Family? Coming at you with another collective reading. If you've been looking for messages from your angels, ancestors, guides, even if your guides are like dinosaurs or fictional characters, like we fuck with all of that around here. I had some cards drop, so I'm gonna go pick those up and we'll get started with the reading. And if you're looking for a one-on-one reading, the first time is $20. If it doesn't resonate for whatever reason, I'll refund it, but you can ask whatever questions you want within a 30-minute time frame, and that's usually plenty for anybody within a tarot reading, unless you have like some really, really in-depth stuff. But either way, the first two cards that fell out were the Ace of Wands and the Six of Pentacles. I'm sorry, Four of Pentacles, my apologies. So it could be one of two things. Maybe you're being called to let go of old things so that you can allow this fresh energy to pop into your experience. A lot of times we're like always stuck on something that we think is going to be beneficial to us. I've had countless times where I've done readings for people who have really toxic partners or have maladaptive, um, maladaptive ways to connect to maybe relationships or friendships and just not positive interactions of things, like even jobs, just really unhealthy situations, and they will simply stay because they feel like that's what they need to get to where they got to get to, not realizing that holding on to it is stopping them from being able to get to where they want. So sometimes it's a call to simply let go of the old things that aren't really serving us anymore, and then to allow like this new burst of inspiration, this new kind of like fire to get like ignited in us so we can move towards what we want to do pretty much. Yeah, I think a lot of people, and it's difficult sometimes to like let go of old things or old patterns or old belief systems, but sometimes it's important to. And then especially so you can then even get to that energy of stability. It's like you're letting something go so you can get on more steady and stable ground sometimes. And then the Fool. The Fool's been popping up like almost every reading. I think this is like the fourth reading I've done tonight, and this is like the third time it's popped out. So there's definitely a lot of the energy of trusting and like it's like the Fool is definitely the energy of going all in and trusting that you're going to be caught as you do such. Like the universe will always respond because people misunderstand what the universe is. The universe is just an external representation of our internal state of being, of our internal state, right? So whenever people say like the universe this, the universe that, it's really your own will, your own energy, your own action being manifested within physical reality and then being experienced in some way, shape, and form. And it's also collective. It's not always singular. It's not always specifically just our own individual experience that we're having. Sometimes we then do align to universal or collective experiences. But I'm saying this to say that whenever you take that step towards what you want, your higher mind, you are going to, for the most part, start getting guided towards where you got to get to. And it's very intuitive. You have to like trust the little breadcrumbs leading you to where you got to get to. And you have to like learn how to hone and trust your intuition. But that is essentially how, and I'll forever say it, everything in creation has ever been created. There's not a single physical thing that started in the physical realm. It's all started from somebody's mind, from somebody's thought, from the light that we have right now to the glasses I have to this phone to every single thing in creation has started with a singular thought. And then somebody who trusted that thought and went towards what would then be what this creation is, be it this jacket, be it these cards, be it the rings that I'm wearing, anything at all has started with somebody's intuition and then them having to trust their intuition to get to where they want to result or to accomplish what they need. So it's not easy. It's not easy. The Fool is always seen just about to walk off the damn cliff. You know what I mean? But the more you, and that's one thing I ain't the biggest fan of the Bible, but one thing they do have accurate is if you have faith, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed or some shit like that, then you will be able to move mountains. And I think that is very monumental when it comes to manifestation. It's like all you have to do is have just a little bit of faith and then walk towards what you need and trust that your soul, your higher mind is going to provide it for you. And again, sometimes there is a very strong current of external circumstances that might lead to adverse things. So I'm never saying that we are fully responsible for times like where somebody can become like homeless or sick or where circumstances become too much for an individual and then, they are in unfortunate circumstances. So I don't ever want to act as if this manifestation is a way to pretty much just ignore what people go through or the circumstances that are then pushed onto people without them being able to navigate it with anything past what the circumstances allow. But that being said, when we are able to hone in on our concept, hone in on an intention, and work towards it, that is how manifestation works best. And then we have the Three of Wands. I'm sorry, the Two of Wands. I'm so sorry. And yeah, so that okay, that's literally exactly what I was just saying. The Two of Wands is all about like envisioning and, excuse me, it's all about like having that vision in your mind. It's like the preliminary phase of creation where you have something in your mind. It's like the ace is the spark of creation, right? And then the Two of Wands is like where you start to then visualize it, where you start to consider, where you start to think, where you start to ponder, and where it then starts to crystallize and take form and condense down into creation itself. So the Two of Wands is definitely that phase in which you're maybe having to envision what your next step is, where you're trying to figure out like where you're still planning and then, you know, trying to move towards what you are planning as you are planning it. Or maybe you're just still in the phase of strictly just planning. But the Two of Wands is definitely in the state of trying to envision what you're trying to do, visualizing it, and allowing that to be the planning phase, or not allowing that to be the planning phase, but planning and then allowing that to be the step that you're in as you get to where you want to get to, would be the better way to phrase that. I'll pull one more in the bottom of the deck. And then the Three of Wands, of course, that would be exactly how that is. The Three of Wands comes right after. So then after you have the vision, after you have the idea, after you have the goal in your mind, then comes action, then comes working towards it, then comes the steps towards what you want. It's interesting. I don't usually get like the ace, two, and three. So we got the ace of wands, the two of wands, and three of wands. So it's quite literally the spark of genius, and then the motion towards it, both mentally and then physically, as you start to manifest or as you start to create the idea that came to you. It's literally like a little story. So let me see. It's like with the Four of Pentacles, you're letting something go. It's like you're releasing what you don't need. Then the Ace of Wands comes. It's like you have that little divine inspiration. The Two of Wands, you're starting to visualize. I'm sorry. Then we have the Fool. You're taking that leap of faith to trust that you're going to get to where you got to get to. As you then start to visualize, as you start to keep, it's like as you're walking off the cliff, it's like you're looking on the horizon. You're just trusting like where your mind wants you to go. And then you start to take action towards it. So I definitely think that there's the energy of somebody who is creating or working towards something or is trying to let go of something so they can start to then create something better. And then, I mean, this doesn't happen often, but I guess that's the message. Sometimes it really does happen, like where I guess the deck just kind of decides where it's done. But either way, peace and blessings, you guys. I hope you have a great night, and I look forward to hearing from you. Let me know if it resonates. Let me know, yeah, if there's a specific topic you had in mind for the next reading, even. But I hope you guys have a great night.